So, welcome everyone again to our home based business class that we do multiple times a month. And we are going to jump right into it and start by a little bit different with a little bit of question and answer interview so that we can get to know Sheila's story. And then, as usual, I'll share a little bit as well as we get into the data and the actual facts of why now is a wonderful time to start a home based business. So with that, Sheila, can you start out telling us how were you actually introduced to Young Living?
Absolutely. And I just want to say hi to everybody. I'm Sheila Sherman. I'm in Calgary, Alberta, if you haven't heard me talk already before. I'm from Detroit, and we were talking about that earlier. And I've been in Canada for almost 20 years now. I can't believe it. But this is where I started my business out here in Canada and started building a team here. And I got started because my sister living in Houston gave me a phone call. And we talked all the time. This is just an aside, but I just thought I'd tell this because this is pretty cool. My younger sister and I, we each have 6 kids, and we got pregnant at the same time with every kid. So each of our kids have what we call a cousin counterpart. And so we became very close, obviously, even though I'm in Canada and she's in Houston. We were talking back and forth all the time. And so her oldest, who was the same age as my oldest, started going through some health challenges. And my sister wanted to find natural means of helping her daughter. And her daughter was just having a lot of exhaustion, probably chronic fatigue was the deal with her. And my sister called me so excited. And she said, "Hey, Sheila, there's these oils that's been helping Alexis, her daughter." And I'm like, well, you know what? I heard of aromatherapy, but I'm like, oh, yeah, really? Like oils that you can smell are actually going to do something for people's health? I just didn't believe it. However, I thought I'd try it. It's like, why not try it? And I started doing a little bit more research and found out that, essential oils, I've been in this for 12 years. So essential oils are not just some kind of hocus pocus kind of stuff. They actually have a chemistry to them and a reason why they work. And as I started studying that, as I'm waiting on my kit, and because that's what you did, right? You got a kit so you can experience and get the best value. So I got my kit, and I could not believe the health benefits that I started achieving right away. And one of those health benefits was I had baby number 6 a couple of years before, just as my sister. She had baby number, they're 3 days apart. We just were in sync. And I had that baby, and I gained 80 pounds, 80 pounds with this guy. Now, he was a 10-pound, 15-ounce baby, all right? But the rest of that was just eating too much junk, basically. And I was miserable. I was postpartum, most likely. I never got diagnosed or anything, but I know I was crying all the time. I was not a happy camper. Had 6 kids by that point, one being a 2-year-old, 3-year-old, and I just was not feeling the whole mother thing. I was burnt out. And immediately, within, I don't know, a week, 10 days, I got my mojo back. I started feeling happier. It fixed me. The oils fixed me in the sense that I wasn't crying all the time. And I was like, wait a minute, now this is just supposed to be like some crazy stuff. It's not really supposed to work. But I started researching and delving into it more. And then within 3 weeks, another health condition that I had on to this day. And I was amazed. So I decided this is the product for me. This is the product for my family. These oils and these products is really what I've been looking for. So I just jumped in with both feet, and I haven't looked back.
Awesome. Now, what motivated you to actually do the business, to
And
consciously do the business?
yeah, thank you. That's a great question. It took a couple of years to really decide that I wanted to do the business, not because I had any skepticism about doing that, but because I had 6 kids and I was a homeschooling mom and I'm homeschooling 6 kids. And if any of you are homeschooling now because of COVID, then you know how hectic my home was. So I didn't really feel I had time for a home-based business. But I had already been entrepreneurial minded. My husband, he supported the family 100%. He was an entrepreneur, and I wanted to contribute in that way. Plus, by that time, I had built up such a passion for the oils and the products and the health benefits of it, and for the company, because I started checking out the company very thoroughly. And I had developed such a passion. I was already doing the sales job. I was already really having it as a business, even though consciously I wasn't doing it as a business. I was already sharing with everybody I knew. And back then, you know, a lot of people hadn't heard of Young Living. Still, people haven't heard of Young Living all over the world. We have a big mission with that. But a lot of people hadn't heard of it locally in Canada. And I just was sharing with everybody because not only did I receive such wonderful health benefits, the same for my family. Uh, Ailments that my kids stopped getting stuff. And then when they did get it, we could knock it out. I knew the oil for it. We just would knock it out within a couple of days whenever they felt uncomfortable or under the weather. And it just became my go-to. So I was doing it anyway, but consciously, one day I said, you know what? I want to represent this company. I want to represent this product, and I want a side income. I want an income to be able to help my family, but still have the control of being at home and homeschooling my kids and doing my other passion. My other passion was homeschooling my kids, being a stay-at-home mom. So I was able to bring both passions into my life of health and my kids and my family, merge them together and be able to earn an income.
So, can you share with us what drives you? We know this is a true business. You're a business owner, and there's ups and downs with that. So, what actually drives you?
Mm-hmm. There are definitely ups and downs because there's ups and downs in life, period. Right? So, what drives me really is the product. This product, the essential oils, they work. I'm going to say 2 things. They work, and I know that people don't have to feel the way they feel most of the time, that there is a solution. And I want to be a part of getting that message out to people, to just say, you can feel better. Your family can feel better. This may not be everyone's solution, but it is a solution for a lot of people. And I just want to say to people, just try it. That's what my sister said to me. Why don't you just give it a try? So I'm here to say to people, why don't you just give it a try? Because I see so many people struggling with their health. And if I have a solution that they can just try and possibly change their lives, I want to be a part of that. I'm dedicated to that. The other thing is the company and what the company represents. And the company's so strong in integrity, in the purity of the product, in their dedication of the mission, and just the love, that same love of people and wanting to see people healed. It is mirrored by the company. The company truly, truly wants to see people feel better and healed and lives changed. And so their mission connects with my mission. I just want to end by saying, I was telling everybody about Young Living when I was not officially doing the business. And even still today, if I never earned a dime, I'll keep telling people about the health benefits of this product because I know it works and I know it's changed my life. So that's what drives me. What drives me really is people. Knowing that I have something that can help people, that's what drives me.
Awesome. And what do you think the biggest factor has been in helping you be successful?
I think that the biggest factor has been just don't give up. It's just nowhere in my mindset. It's nowhere in my mindset to say, and everybody's different. Everybody's different, but this was just me. Because I did have some times where I was not, I got kind of stuck. And what that means is I was feeling like I was not producing the sales that I felt like I had the ability to do. And it wasn't happening. And it was nobody but me, right? It was just my own stuff. It was my own personal development. I'm actually very glad it happened now because it's my own getting over. You know, when you get over things and you actually end up persevering and then triumphing, that's a confidence builder, right? So that actually built my confidence more. But there was a time where I was like, okay, you know, I want to make more money at this. Basically, I want to be able to make more money. Anyway, and so, gosh, now that I've gone into that, I think I forgot the question. What was the question?
So I think we can summarize it, maybe tenacity. The question was, what
Yeah.
is the biggest
Oh,
factor that has helped you be successful,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
that's what I would qualify it
Yeah,
as.
you can't fail if you don't quit. And that's how I look at it. So the more I go, the more I do, and I'm doing what I love anyway, and I'm doing what I would do no matter what. So I just keep doing it and I just keep striving to do it better. And that's what helps me is to just know I can do it better and finding the ways to do it better.
Awesome, awesome. So then just a little bit about myself for anyone who watched the replay and doesn't know me and haven't heard my story. I mean, we come from definitely different worlds. I come from the business world, but at the end of the day, it's usually the same basic steps. For me, I was relatively young in my early 30s, and I was having health issue after health issue after health issue. Being in the automotive industry, working 60 hours a week sometimes, we just dealt with what we dealt with. We did a little exercise. We got through our day with 4 cups of coffee or a neon colored energy drink. And we just kept it moving. And I ended up with high blood pressure and hormone issues and was in accidents and had a couple of back issues, knee issues, just all types of stuff where I was just super miserable and even feeling depressed after being so young and having all those things. And so I was the same exact way. I had several different friends that were diffusing lavender, saying it was amazing online. And I was like, whatever. I bought a couple things from Amazon. They didn't work. Oils don't work. Went to a home party. Panaway was placed on my body. My life was never the same. I was able to use Ninja Red, which helped me with some of the nutrient issues that I was having at the time. And then I was also introduced to Joy, which helped me with stabilizing my mood. And from then on, I never looked back. The same thing, just like you. I knew that my sister and my stepmom, they were kind of crunchy and they were going to do this with me no matter what. And that the world needed to have this. The exact words that you use, I'm like, people don't have to feel this way. Like everyone around me in their 30s were having hormone issues and feeling exhausted and feeling like they were 50. And it does not have to be that way. It's not a magic pill. It doesn't necessarily happen overnight for every single thing that you're trying to do, but you can have relief in a short amount of time, in a week, in a month, 2 months, you can have some of that relief. And then you can take the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years where you'll look back like I did and like, I don't have allergies anymore. I don't have eczema anymore. I'm not on 7 medications like I was. that I thought I would just keep having to have for the rest of my life. And you can use nature and plants in order to repair your body. And so for me, it was the same thing. I pretty much started sharing right away. I happened to be connected to a team that was already in a run. We're already very focused on doing certain business things. And so I was able to join them with that. And my life has been dramatically changed health-wise and emotion-wise, and getting into the self-development, just even that growth. And then on top of that, having the opportunity to have additional income and to have tax benefits and to be able to travel to places that I never would have traveled to without this business. So for me, I just absolutely 100% love it. And that is part of my story. So if anyone has any questions for either of us before we get into the data, you can feel free to ask a question at this time.
I have a question. May we call you Sheila? May we?
Yes, okay. Yes.
So I know you said that you were just a consumer of the products for years before you started doing the business. Did Senior Star just happen for you? Did you just organically?
Yeah. I actually got to executive without even really trying.
Executive just happened for you organically.
Executive just happened because I was sharing and I was earning a check, but I still didn't consider myself doing the business, right? Okay. So I was just letting everybody know, oh my goodness, there's an oil for that. Oh, it was just because on my heart, I'm like, I want to help these people.
Right.
And so it just happened. Now the comp plan was a little bit different. So the structure was a little bit different than what we need to have now. And it was actually a little bit harder to hit executive than it is now.
Wow. Okay.
But it just was, so it was about 2.5 years. And then I went to convention because I was like, maybe I want to do this as a business. So I went to convention and then I was like, this is it. Like, this is the company. This is what I've been looking for all these years. And so that's when I decided. But so, yeah, it just kind of happened. So what I want to say to you is you just keep going and just keep having that passion, because people saw my passion and then they just got involved.
So the first rank that you actually intentionally ran for was silver.
Yes.
And so the comp plan was more difficult, and to get to silver was more difficult at that time as well.
I'm trying to think. I think they changed it sometime around when I hit silver, when I was coming to silver. I can't even remember, but the change may have come sometime around silver. So I think
what was your mindset and your mentality when you were running for that first rank? What were you doing? Did you do the 30 minutes of self-development daily? How did you keep your mind fixed and just intentional?
Yeah. That's a great question. The money, I was like, I'm just going to say, right? It's like, okay, I can make this much at executive, or I can make this much at silver.
Okay.
Right? And
that's real. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So, and I had a goal. That's when I started. I was like, I have a goal. And even today, there's the goal. There's the monetary goal. Yeah. But we have to remember, the more people we help, it's reflected in the money. So that meant what my value was helping people. Mm-hmm. But the money was hey, I can make more money. That means I'm helping more people. So the more money I make, the more people I'm helping.
So it's hand in hand. Oh, I don't want to just dominate all the questions.
I just want to add, in a lot of the goal setting things that we've gone over recently, we went over it in the masterminds and stuff. It just talked about the importance of making sure that you're writing it down or getting it to you on a daily basis. So for me, I'm actually an audio learner. I have my goals written down,
telling me that.
break down the details of it, right? So our motivation and our heart is to help people.
Right.
And that's why I try to double up every single month. And in my affirmations, every day I say, I double up every single month. I double up every single month. That's something that gets put in my head every single day without fail. And out of the past 5 months, I've doubled up 4 of those 5 months. This past month, I did get 4 signups, but 1 was not a double up. And then I also have the affirmations of what my rank goal is going to be. So again, in the mastermind and some of the Monday Dose of Valors has reminded us that, you know, a goal not written down is just a dream. It's just a wish. So to make it concrete,
Yep.
when Sheila's saying, yes, I focused on this, I focused on that, literally means reviewing it every single day, refocusing your mind on it every single day, because life is going to distract you otherwise if you're not reviewing it every single day and focusing on it.
And yeah, do definitely start writing your goals. I'm going to have Tashena hold you to that. But here's the other thing that drove me and that kept me focused and going. I loved winning those incentive trips, loved winning them. And every year they came around, and every year that they came around, I was going for it. And every year that I went for it, I won something. I placed somewhere. So that also helped me stay focused on my activities, because all of the contests are centered around what is the certain activities that you have to enroll X amount of people. You get points for this. So I was focused on that. So in the past, I didn't do this last contest, but in the past, I've won the trip to Hawaii. I've won Alaskan cruise. I won Caribbean cruise. That was the first one that I won way back when. I won the Mediterranean cruise when the Mediterranean cruise came up. And I'm trying to think, was there another? I won those 4. And then just those trips when you hit silver, the silver retreats, the gold retreats, I've been on those. The platinum I didn't go on. And then it ended up being good that I didn't, because there was some unrest or something. I don't think they're going to do it this year because of COVID. So my platinum trip will happen next year. But those, I enjoyed winning those and placing and going for them. It was the journey that I enjoyed.
I've heard that.
Oh yeah, and I won Dream 500. I won Dream, not 500, but Dream 1,000. So I won second tier and Dream 1,000, which was like a year's worth of nature red. So I won that one too. And I won that in 7 days. I worked for 7 days and I placed for that tier, for tier 2.
What were you
this
doing?
Close to winning.
What were you doing during those 7 days? What did your day look like?
It was a strategy. I have these strategies when it comes to the contest. I just can take the rules and I set a strategy and then I work the strategy. And it took me 7 days. So I'll have to tell you. Let's connect. I'll have to tell you.
Okay.
So we can do the next one.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it really is based on the rules. Like right now for Dream 500, if you're doing the double up and you are helping as many people in your downline hit silverbound, that was it. How many people did you help hit silverbound? Like the structure from the very beginning was you doing double up so that you could get new people and you helping as many people hit silverbound in your downline as possible. Some of us, like me, I don't have a lot of personally enrolled actually that are my leaders, which it makes it a little bit difficult for me to go slower, but I spent a lot of time creating a 4th leg from scratch in order to it's one of the reasons why I've been like engaged in a little bit in some other things. Like I have a little group of people that we Bible study together. We do a bunch of stuff and I've spent a lot of time in there and I gotten like 6 signups from that group because I didn't have a lot of personally enrolled people I could work with. So I had to decide to build a leg from scratch.
Mm-hmm. That's so helpful. Thank you both.
Okay, with that, we are at the 30-minute mark and we will give some more time for questions, but I do want to in 10 minutes, run through the data for anyone that happens to see this presentation and has never seen it before, so that they have that green actual information of, you know, not just stories, but the data of why now is a great time to start a home-based business. So I'm going to run through that right quick, and we'll move back into questions if anything else is generated from that. So we always start with this reminder here, right? These are companies that were created between 2008 and 2010. When was that? That was what was known as the Great Recession of this century. During that time, there were companies that were able to find a need, such as needs for communication, like with WhatsApp and Instagram and Pinterest. Those are ways for people to connect and to communicate in a cheaper way. There's also companies that found solutions for payment systems, such as Venmo and Square. And then we have Groupon, which was a great way to get discounts during a recession. And Uber was a way for individuals to save money driving their own cars and getting around in a cheaper manner. So previous crisis, if we are able to work through those and find a solution, that helps us actually create a company that can thrive. So why network marketing? We always are very clear that many people have a negative view of network marketing, but interestingly enough, there was an article, I posted it in the actual event. If you didn't see it, make sure you check that out. It's becoming more accepted and more normal and understood that this is an industry. There was something that was connected to it, which were pyramid schemes that were done incorrectly that gave network marketing or direct sales a bad taste in people's mouth. But this is a regulated, valid industry. And on top of that, there are so many benefits for choosing this industry. Some of those benefits are you can build it part-time and anytime. You can build it from anywhere. I actually happened to be out of town last week, and I was able to at least start a business call for my team to connect to each other. And I did one class on Sunday from a different location. And when we went into the mode that we are now, I was able to convert all of the education that we had onto Zoom. I didn't have to stop the education we were doing. We came up with creative ways to do spa parties and to do emotional release classes. So you can literally build it from anywhere. And it's international, all over the world. You can launch it for as little as $500 to $1,000. In general, any network marketing company, the one that we're in, you can actually launch it for less. You're in business for yourself, but not by yourself. We have so many individuals collaborating on this call today, giving each other support, helping with their stories. Your business partner has a vested interest. So the 350 people that are on my team, my goal is always, when I sit down and talk about my goals, I talk about the 15 people I'm going to help reach their next level. That is the only way that I hit my goals. You can create enough tax deductions alone to make it worthwhile. This is one of my favorite things at the level of silver. The fact that I have all the income that I need to buy all of the new products right away, and that every vacation that I go on is tax deductible. I'm planning a trip with some friends. I'm going out to do a photo shoot actually to strengthen my brand and have some professional photos for some portfolio stuff I want to do, as well as for online. And while I'm there, I'm going to visit with a bunch of friends, all of which I have introduced to Young Living. Therefore, the whole entire trip, because of the photography and because of me giving more exposures to all of these friends, and two of them actually are members of my team now from the group that I've developed, it's going to be a tax deductible vacation. I'm going to go see the East Coast. I'm going to see a countryside of Pennsylvania. I'm going to see downtown New York, and it's all going to be tax deductible because every single part of it, I'm going to be doing something related to my business. You learn it while you earn it. So you can put in the effort. There are individuals that have grown on Instagram and they've spent hours and hours and hours, and they have earned a lot in the beginning. But you can also just set your own pace from day one, you can make sure that you get a paycheck by just sharing with your friends and family. You can earn an extra 500, 1,000, 5,000 or more a month. And with time and success, your income will be produced by hundreds, perhaps thousands of individuals. Getting into a few network marketing myths. So myth number one, getting in on the ground floor is the best path to success in any network marketing company. This simply is not true. There is, for any company, there is a company life cycle. And a lot of times getting in in the beginning, there's lots more issues. If you got in to the particular company that we're in the beginning, it was kind of a weird thing to do back then. Now it's a normal thing. Essential oils, people know where they are, what they are. They're at Walmart, they're at the gas station. People kind of know what they do. So the maturity phase that we're in is actually one of the best times because of the needs that we're filling. Network marketing is an opportunity for someone who is not doing financially well to make a lot of money. So this is a myth because it's only a partial truth. So it's not a whole truth, right? It is a great way for individuals who have not been formally educated or may not be doing financially well to make a lot of money. But it is also an opportunity for someone like me who is a six-figure earner in the automotive industry and the top 8% of income in their area to get financial freedom and time freedom. And that is the reason why I do it. Myth number three, network marketers succeed by being in the right place at the right time. Again, this is not true. You are rewarded on your hard work, and depending on the market trends and what's going on, right now is the best time to get into health and wellness. Right now, people need health and wellness. They need immune support. The season is coming here in the United States where they need even more immune support. And again, this being mature and having so many product lines, this is a great time to get in. And myth number four, the big guys make all of their money off the little guy. This is just a clear myth that is always spread around and we don't even really know why. This is what traditional business does. If you think the CEO makes a lot more than the individuals underneath them, but the way that network marketing is structured, especially in the company that we have, you make money, you get a small percentage off of anyone that's underneath you, but you get more for building separate teams. And I have seen over and over again, individuals who are able to make more than someone that is above them because they are working harder and creating more teams. Now, just a little information about, again, we're talking about the direct sales industry. We're talking about an industry that is regulated. We're talking about an industry that has to report to the government. And we're talking about an industry where there is money to be made. And how much do you want? It is an $85 billion industry in Asia, a $38 billion industry in Europe, a $36 billion industry in North America, a $27 billion industry in South America, and a $1.8 billion industry in Africa. So 45% of the money to be made is in Asia, and you can see the rest of the breakdown there. So this is data from 2017 that shows you getting in this industry can get you an income. And then why health and wellness? So we just talked about network marketing in general. Health and wellness in particular, the global wellness market reached approximately 4.75 trillion last year, and it's at a growth rate of 6.4%, so it's going up. It is such a broad industry, as you can see from the graphic and what we have here, because it includes things like complementary medicine, preventive medicine, healthy eating, nutrition, weight loss, spa economy, physical activity, personal care, beauty, anti-aging, wellness tourism, and more. And the company that we represent touches every single one of those areas. And that's why we love Young Living as the health and wellness, preferred health and wellness solution and the preferred home-based business to do. Young Living owns their own farms. Their standards are just completely unmatched because they own their own farms. Their industry-leading research and testing. They have a seed to seal promise that's unmatched in the industry. You can check out seedtoseal.com. They have 25 plus years of experience as a company with an additional 10 years of research experience on top of that, low startup costs. You can start for as low as $35, but we do recommend usually getting additional product as well as investing in your education right away. And the largest selection of essential oils, oil-infused products, and toxic-free lifestyle brands. People come to me in my inbox all the time saying, hey, can you help me out? I'm trying to reach a goal at the end of the month. Can you buy this? And 99% of the time, I'm like, I already have that. I have makeup. I have shakes. I have what you're offering me in my own online franchise store. And I love that. And then just briefly about the actual income potential. So again, you can start making money right away. And you can take this to whatever. You just look at this chart and say, where do I want to be? So the average distributor, when you just start out, can make $26 per month. The average star, $75 per month. So in order to get your commissions, you're going to be spending about $100 US per month. At the level of star, you can get that covered and paid for. Then level senior star is about $235 per month. That allows you to really fill your grocery list and cover, like, our 300 is what we usually, someone that's building a business attempts to do every single month. That senior star level helps you cover that. Executive on average is about $425 a month, and that's where you have some extra where you can start paying down bills and paying down debt. Silver on average is about $2,000. Gold on average is $5,600. So those levels is where, like, silver, if you're a mom that works part-time, you could probably get rid of your job. If you're a mom that works full-time and has a heavy hand in your finances in your home, at gold, you'll probably be able to reach higher. Platinum on average is about $13,800. Again, now you are really allowing yourself to bless people and get rid of all of your debt and help lots of individuals. Diamond on average is a monthly check of $35,300. That is the average yearly income for some individuals. Crown Diamond, $64,000 per month, and Royal Crown Diamond on average $144,000 per month. So that was the data that we wanted to share with you today. And with that, I did have just a couple more questions for Sheila to share with us. So Sheila, you were mentioning how you did at sometimes feel maybe things weren't moving as fast as you wanted to, or you felt a little bit stuck. What would you say would be a key to moving past that?
Well, my key was, I'll say my key and then I'll say the key. I had to press in with prayer and really just say, God, is this really what you want me to do? And I was like, if you don't want me to do this, I'm not going to do it. And then I was like, but God, I really want to do it. So don't leave me to nothing else. This is what I really want to do. But if you don't want me to do it. And then God just took me on a journey to find my purpose, like a deeper purpose. And so I found a deeper purpose than money. I found a deeper purpose than even helping other people. And my deeper purpose was, I truly believe that God wants us to share this message because it's a message of health in every area of life. And so how do oils help every area of life? You're just going to have to get in it and just know it. My marriage is better. I've been married 33 years. My marriage is better. My relationship with my kids is better. My relationship with other people is better. My relationship with money is better. My relationship with my health and myself is better. And most of all, my relationship with God is better. And so, yes, oils started that journey into all of that. Going into that low point helped me to reach this high point where I'm at right now. So that would be my advice. If you're a person of faith, that would be my advice. Press into God, and just really seek him. Just really seek him. For people that may not be people of faith or the same faith, that's okay. That's totally okay. There's no judgment. And what I would say is, again, still though, purpose. Seek within, and then start writing out, though. If you haven't been writing out, figure out what you haven't been doing. If you haven't been writing out your goals every day and really focused on your business, do that. Some people don't. I look at my business every single day. Some people might only look, once every 2 weeks. Then that means you're not really probably, you're what you want to do and what you're actually doing, what you want to accomplish and what you're actually doing to accomplish that thing, they're not resonating with each other. So you just kind of need to know that. It's not the company. It's not the products. It's not the compensation plan. It's always us. So how do we get past that? Personal development. I can't speak enough about personal development, and especially mindset. When you have the right mindset, you say the right things to yourself. When you say the right things to yourself, you'll do the right actions. It's as simple as that. And I had to learn that. And God led me to the mindset part of it, but there are other people that have that message of mindset. Mindset is very, very important. So doing that personal development, never beating yourself up. I started beating myself up, and I started beating other people up too. I decided everybody was my enemy. And then I was like, wait a minute, it's my attitude. It's my attitude that needs to be fixed. So it's great to come to that enlightenment, to know, hey, if it's me, that means if I change, things will change. So then I decided to change, and then things started to change.
Yeah, I would second that for sure. Anytime that I felt that I was not moving forward or I was stuck, it meant I needed to do more self-development. And even recently, I just came out of a period where it's very emotionally heavy for me. And the way that I didn't completely fall down was to realize, okay, you need to do more. I was doing a lot of technical personal development. I was doing a lot of coaching through downline leadership to help my team, but I needed something more for me and for my emotions. And so I had to choose a very specific personal development books that were going to help me with the emotional side, because I could see that maybe I was going to be short with someone, or maybe my attitude. And so I had to dig and get exactly what I needed to build myself up emotionally, because it was an emotionally difficult period for me. So I would second that 100%. Anytime you feel stuck, then you have to look into what, like you said, what is missing? We are blessed to have a full training system that tells us everything that we need to do. And when I was not maintaining silver, I dug back into our training system and said, what are the books you haven't read yet? What are the things that you were missing? And my major thing at that point in time was coaching. I wasn't coaching people the way that I needed to. And then the same thing when I was stuck at silver, and not moving towards gold in the way that I needed to, like I am now, it was the same thing. How can you be a better coach? How can you improve yourself? Because that's the only way your business is going to move forward.
Yeah, you know what? The reason why I love this business is because your success really starts on the inside. The success that you see on the outside is a reflection on the inside. And that may be hard for us to admit sometimes, because maybe we think we have it all together. Well, your paycheck will let you know if you have it all together. And I had to come to grips with that. And I had to say, you know what, there's something missing. For me, it was putting my time with God first, and then mindset, and then actions, right? So, God, mindset, how I think, and then the action started following along with it. And gratitude is huge. Gratitude is huge. I can tell you guys two things about me. I am unoffendable because I'm grateful for all things. I'm even grateful for people who don't like me. It's not a lot of people who don't like me, but I do know one person who doesn't like me, and that's another story. But you know what? I bless her. I bless her because I'm like, you know what? She's going through a hard time, and it's being pushed out on me. It's not me, it's her, and it's deflecting onto me. So I want to bless her and pray for her. So it don't even bother me. You cannot offend me. I'm unoffendable because I'm just going to find a way to just bless you, period, right? And then being grateful for that time that I went through, I found so much through that time that I went through. I found more than I was looking for, actually. And so in terms of changing myself, and I'm grateful for those times when I can go, hey, I need to improve. I'm so grateful that I'm being shown that I need to improve.
Right.
I need to do better. It's
Exactly.
A gratitude thing.
Yeah. And so just a quick reminder for my team, and even though we do have a few Crossline people that join, I mean, that's what our Monday night calls are about. Those 8 p.m. Monday night calls that we have, the boot camps, is all about the mindset and techniques to move forward. And the one that we have coming up this Monday that Brenda Schuler is going to be on, that every star and above is invited to go to, she's going to talk about belief and mindset from the voice of a Royal Crown Diamond. So if you're hearing this right now and recognizing that's something that you need, have you marked yourself as going, and have you made sure that every silver in your team knows about it yet? Dana, you had another question?
That's awesome.
I did. Were we done with like the presentation where I can just like ask questions now? Oh, okay. Because I don't want to hold people hostage if like there was more. So I have a question because, just slight backstory. I recently was on a call with like a top earner in another multi-level marketing company. And now she's emerged as just like a powerhouse just in business in general, but she's in the UK. And one of the things she mentioned, and it's funny because she's somewhat familiar with Young Living as a company too. And the one thing she mentioned is you should lead with the business always. And she said, especially with what you have, because your products are amazing and everybody needs the products. Mm-hmm, but if you lead with the business, since there's less amount of people that actually want to grab hold of the business, you can still be like, oh, that's fine if that's not for you, but these products are amazing and this is how they can help you. And so my question was, do you lead with the business? Do you lead with the products? Have you always done so? And when do you adjust or make a change? I think that was like 18 questions in one, but hopefully that makes sense.
Yeah, I totally get it. You know what? I was so product driven, and so was Young Living for a really long time. It was about product, get a kid. It was, these products are amazing. And there's so many accidental business builders like I was. It was like, oh, I love these products. So I led with the products before. I led with the products for a long time. And then leading with the business does take a mindset as well, because you got to know that this business is as great for people as the products, right? And so I led with the products for so long that it took a mindset shift for me to lead with the business. What I do now is I tend to fall back on the business, on the product, because that's what I'm comfortable with, because that's just what flows out of me naturally. So when you're so comfortable with something that you can just do, then do something else that makes you uncomfortable. It's time to move out of that comfort zone. So I had to challenge myself to move out of that comfort zone and start. And for people that may not know what leading with the business is, that's what this is for. That's what this video is for, to let you know about the business side of Young Living and how great potential is for everybody who comes into this business. So now I still kind of fall back on that, but I'm focused more on leading with the business.
And I think there's a way to find a balance, because I know that I was blessed to have Shannon Hudson in my mastermind, because she decided to join a mastermind of every single level so that she could, so she was doing it every day so that she could see, okay, what are they teaching the silvers? So I know how to address my silvers. What are they teaching the golds? So I know how to adjust my golds. And she has always led with the business. She's always led with the business. But it's not that she says, do you want to do a business? Right? She always says, when she's in her presentation, she says on every single thing, who do you know that needs this? And at the end of her presentation, she always says, who are 3 people that we can bless with this? So I think there's a happy medium where you can lead with the business, but it doesn't sound traditional network marketing, traditional, you know, and you're still able to do that in a way that incorporates the wonderful products. And I still need to improve on that. 100%. I still need to improve on the second that I introduce a product. How can I say, who do you know that needs this? Get out a piece of paper, start writing their names listed there. I think it's more of a mindset for us because we separate them in our minds. And so then we're like, we have to, they're not a business builder, or they can't do the business unless they physically sign up on this website that is my business training website. And they told me they didn't want to do the business, so I'm never going to mention the business to them, rather than trying to find a way to merge it naturally and just have sharing be the thing to do.
Okay, can I just, so one of the things that the lady had mentioned too, and why she said lead with the business, she didn't say specifically how to say it or how to do it or whatever, but her other thing was like, when you've led with the business and then people tell you they can't afford it, well, you already took that out of the equation, because you're like, oh, well, this is how you can, you know, get it paid for or make money back. And then the other thing she does is she's like, I take the pressure off of them. So a lot of times she will say like, this totally, you know what, it's probably not even for you at all. Like, you probably wouldn't even be interested in it. But I just want to share it with you. And then she kind of starts that way, because she's like, I take the pressure off of them. So that way you get the one person that's like, what you mean it's not for me? How you already judging me and saying I can't do this? I can do this and I can do it better than you. Or you get the person that's like, well, I'm curious, but maybe I'm right. Like, so she was just saying like she can kind of address some of those things that are in our mindset that becomes blocks, and a lot of times become obstacles when we're talking to people. So it was interesting to me because I love the model of multi-level marketing, but I realize I do have blocks. Like, I have huge blocks. Like, even when I go to networking events, I lead with my company is DNA Wellness, and we incorporate, you know, essential oils, yada, 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 or whatever. Like, I don't say I'm a young living, which I'm okay with some of that, but it's like, I feel like I fell back on that because I was afraid to say I'm in a multi-level marketing company. And would you want to be in one? You know, like, because that feels. So I guess I don't know if that was a question. I think I just went on a rant.
So this is what I like to say with everything that I'm approaching someone with. I like to say, I just do this with everyone, right? So it's like, okay, you're interested in the product, et cetera, say, and you know what? I always ask everybody who gets started on their journey with Young Living if they want to see the business side or whatever it is that I want to say, right? If I'm calling people for, let's say if there's a new special, let's say if there's a sale on something with Young Living and I want to make some calls and I want to see if somebody wants some of those great sale prices, I just say, hey, I'm just reaching out to everybody. right? And then I'll let them know what I'm calling them for. So then that way it doesn't sound like I'm trying to grab them or I'm, it sounds like, hey, this is just what I do. So it's like, hey, I just always make sure I ask this question to everybody who gets a kit. We do have a business side. We do, there is a way to earn money. There is a way to earn your kit. Would you be interested in learning more? Right. So then that was like, oh, well, she says that to everybody anyway. So yeah, of course she would ask me that. So I like to do it that way. And then in terms of not feeling comfortable or sometimes falling back on just saying, I don't just go, I'm with Young Living, right? With people, my business is Young Living. I think you're doing the right thing by saying you're with your company. And you know what I would do? I would just stop right there and let people go, well, what do you do? Let them ask you, right? So say, oh yeah, I'm what's the name of your company, Dana?
I lead with DNA. The funny thing is, actually, my LLC is Lady Day LLC, but I lead with DNA Wellness because it's one of the funnels underneath.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So if you go, hey, I'm DNA. I run a company. I run a business. My business is DNA Wellness. And people are like, well, what's that? What do you do then? Right? And let them ask, because when people ask questions and they're waiting for the answer, then they're more open to hearing. Where if you just say, oh, I do this and I do this, and then it's like, whoop, they just kind of closed it off. So let them ask and let them want to know what you do. Then have a nice little short spiel about that. Did that make sense?
And just to add a little bit, I think any time you're seeing I have a mindset issue, what can you do to strengthen it, right? So for me, I am a director. No one has to tell me what to do. So it makes it so hard for me to coach other people because that's not how most people are. And so if that's my weakness, that means I have to spend $400 on downline leadership to become a better coach. So if your weakness is, I still have negative towards network marketing, go read GoPro 10 more times. Go watch Rise of the Entrepreneur 10 more times. Go do it 50 times. Go do it 100 times until it's strong in your mind and you don't feel like you have that block anymore.
But I do. That's my problem. Like I listen to all of the things and I put them in my head so much, and like I don't listen to normal things. I only listen to the self-development and the GoPros and the all of those books.
But specific, there has
So
to
now
be,
you just have to do.
yeah, there has to be
You have to do.
a level where it's going to stick.
You got to do the work.
Like literally, like the same thing for me, coaching, vulnerability, all that stuff, that I still come to a bridge where I got to share about something new and I have a panic attack because I got to talk about emotions. Then I need more work. I have to find another book. I have to find another different book. I can guarantee you haven't read every book in the world about network marketing. So go find another one.
I have a question for Dana. What does your negative voice say to, like, or what are the things?
So I guess for me, like the negative comes from like I hate how I feel when I see most other, not necessarily Young Living, but other companies with multi-level marketing. I hate the posts that are like, join my team, like my tribe is boss. Like
what would the person who feels like you or has that, what would the real life person who feels that way, what would they say?
I don't know that they was, and I guess that's where, okay, so because I know my personality is so rare, like my mind is always going, well, how does a normal person think? Because there's very few of me. So, so like, even in that scenario where that's how I feel, I'm fighting myself, not because I actually feel that anybody else will feel that way. It's just for whatever reason, I feel that way.
But you do know that, okay, so I guess if you, hypothetically speaking, if you met someone and you decided, hey, I'm going to go for it, I'm going to lead with Young Living, I'm going to lead with the business model, what is the worst thing that in your mind that a normal person would say? Like, what would they say to you?
They would say no.
They would say, no, I hate multi-level marketing. It's a Ponzi scheme. Is that what they would say?
Probably so. But okay, so another thing about me, I remember growing up, my father being like, the worst thing people can say is no, and being like, that's terrible. That is the worst thing. That I'm so I want to get in a ball, and like that sounds awful. I don't want to hear no.
Okay. My mother said she tried selling Tupperware once, and when people told her no, she would like literally almost cry. And so she had to stop selling Tupperware.
So that's where you need your work.
Yeah.
Dana. That's where
Yeah.
you need
So
your work.
that exactly. You need to go listen to Go for No 17 times. Go listen to Go for No for Network Marketers 17 times. You need to, that's where you have to go.
Because I've listened to it.
Keep doing it. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. Keep doing it.
You
There's
should
tremendous.
maybe you can do role playing where
No.
No.
You know what? It's action that's going to change that now. You've listened to it all. So now do it scared, period. And the more you do it scared, and the more you get no's and see that, okay, this is not the worst thing on the planet, then you become immune to them. I am immune to no's. I don't really care. I just want to share. When I first started out, I didn't care if you wanted oils or not. I wanted you to be better. And so I shared with you. And if you said that's not for me, I was kind of like, wow, you're missing out. Right. But I know I don't have stuff connected to no, but everybody has stuff connected to rejection to some degree. Mm-hmm. So the more you realize they're not rejecting you, that no is an okay word. If you want to turn no into not now, or no means later, or no means not now, or no means they're not ready for it yet, turn it into whatever you can accept. But there's a point. I knew somebody in my downline. She was a what's the word when you like her profession was learning. I'm like, you got to do. You just have to do.
Yeah.
So you've done all the learning. Now go do. So Dana, I'm going to.
I mean, honestly, all of those books are going to have action steps too. I mean, and it's the same thing. Like I said, my thing is vulnerability. That is my thing that when you all said, oh, let's do essential oils one-on-one class with emotions, I literally almost had a panic attack, and I had to do AFT in order to do the class. In my head, I was like, we're not supposed to talk about my emotional story till I'm diamond, until I can stand on stage and do it without even feeling emotions and crying. Like, that's what I have to do every step of the way. And anytime it's gone to another level, it's like, oh, now I'm dealing with this now. And I have to dig back in and exactly do what book am I going to listen to that's going to give me action steps to do to conquer this?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What is it?
Do it scared.
Aroma freedom technique.
Okay, never heard of it. I'll figure it out.
We did it at the end of one of our classes. I'll try to find one of the classes where we did it at the end of it, though. And you had an additional question still, Galinda?
Yes, ma'am. So you always mention the tax benefits. Once upon a time, I was in your very same position as unlike your company, but I was at Ford Motor Company. And of course, through that system, I knew how to make my taxes work for me. So with this home-based, your own business, because this is the first time I'm tackling this at the level that I'm tackling it. What is it that you do? How is this working for you where you are getting your money back? And this is.
So we did a complete 1-hour training on this, and Julie has an individual that she works with that can do a consultation with you. So I'll DM you the training in case you missed it that we did with the tax professional, where he goes over like some of the things you can do with your children. He goes over very specific things, and then I'm pretty sure he gives his information where you can do a consultation with him as well.
You talking about the one years ago or the one a recent
that we
one?
did like 6 months ago?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, I mean, it's tracking, it's again, the documentation. So, like I mentioned, I'm going on this trip. The purpose of my trip is to have a photo shoot in order to create content for my speaker profile and for my online presence. That is the purpose of my trip. That is the center of my trip. All of the people, every single person I'm going to come in contact on this trip, who are my friends and who I'm going to hang out with, are also prospects. Every single one of them have received samples from me because I've built a relationship with them over the last 3 months, and I've found a way to send them samples. And when I meet them, I'm going to give them thieves spray and thieves sanitizer. And the whole time they're going to ask me questions and I'm going to talk, which makes this a business trip. And I'm able to write off whatever the percentages of meals, whatever the travel is allowed, all that stuff, you know, the details you got to get from a tax professional. But most of my family members are in my business. So when I go to spend time with my family members, we are going to talk about something that has to do with Young Living. And when I go on vacation with them, I'm going to bring my diffuser. They're going to see this stuff, which makes it tax deductible. So again, but the details, a tax professional and which and what is going to be the one to give you that. But it's the business purpose that makes it tax deductible. That's where you start.
Because I am a receipts person, keeping that. And of course, I give out free products and all that stuff too, but I don't track when I give to people. I just feel like, okay, I want to get it into their hands. And, you know, I live with a tax person, so I feel a little odd asking these questions, you know, but I just want to know from a personal business aspect.
Right.
So, okay. But I look forward to being in touch with whomever you're speaking about.
Yeah, I think if you do maybe a consultation with him, then maybe he can, from the knowledge that you already have, maybe it's just he'll be able to share some stuff with you and it'll click.
Okay, thanks.
All righty. Well, we went over an hour, but like I said, we wanted this to be a little bit different, knowing the audience that we had, be able to answer some more specific questions. But if there isn't anything else, then we will close this out and make the replay available. And I will follow up with the homework that I have been given to share with people. And we'll see you on the next one.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Have an amazing evening.
Bye, everybody. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Bye, Sheila.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Ryan.
Bye.
Hey, Ryan.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, Tashena.